Yeah, hold up. Let me just fix this. Fucking Jesus Christ, bro. This is horrible. Actually, no, this is fine. Is it fine? Try to fix this. Move this back a little. Okay, I think that's fine. I'm sure this is the most zoomed in I guess I can get. Maybe I can get a bit closer, right? I have to move this shit around in an interesting way. Bring it down maybe a little bit like so. Okay, that's a bit closer. That's the closest I think I can get without it being a bit too much. Okay, and I'm gonna go to YouTube now. Fuck off! I don't want to download a goddamn software update every fucking time. Okay, I don't think I have any viewers, thankfully, right now. But let's see. I'm live right now. Put the volume down. 0 viewers, as always. A wonderful reminder of what I'm capable of, or what this channel is capable of. Anyways, all that squeaking noises and shit aside, welcome back to Drawing Live. Right? Oh fuck. Oh, I was like, there's one person. It's just me. I keep forgetting I'm the one person. But yes, I'm going to be practicing what I find to be difficult, which right now is, of course, crazy scooters. Even though I'm moving on with other things in my main practice, I'm still gonna just obsessively try to make this bike mannequin to the best of my ability. Right? It doesn't matter hundreds, thousands, however many hours I need to put into it. I'm just gonna segment it in a box right now. Okay, that must be okay. That's way too short. That has nothing to do with anything, but it's a good practice to at least know where the perspective issues lie, even if that's just something that exists there. The sort of underlying reminder, I guess. Right. So the big thing is obviously to visualize everything in this perspective, but bring this down. And again, it's hilarious how once you hold up, let me do the wheel. No, that's wrong, but it's okay. We'll allow it. It's not too bad. And yeah, I know what was I going to say? Yes, I'm sure everybody is very used to my sporadic, inconsistent scheduling at this point, right? Streaming schedule. It is what it is. I'll do my best to make sure it's even worse going forward. But let's see. Okay. Can bring that forward like so. This one comes up here, all the way back here. I'm trying to recall. It is very long, right? So this was something like this. Right. And then we have something like that. This is a great way to practice shit lines, or a great way to remind myself of my shit lines, and then move on like they don't exist, right? And the biggest thing is, again, I'm trying to visualize all of this to the best of my ability. And I love that. I love that if I'm just focusing on my line work for a little bit. Oh, I fucked up here, but we'll just allow it, pretend like it didn't happen. Right? Yeah, we'll just pretend like it didn't happen, but that's a fuck up. It's okay. Still looks relatively like a bike covering, but could be a lot better. Right? Could be a lot better. But yeah, the most important thing I'm thinking of right now is just try to visualize this and keep the perspective in mind, and of course just keep having to think about what the next step is, right? What is the next step here? Well, that has to be much higher. That's one thing. And also recall, right? Recall is very important. Retrieval, recall, all those buzzwords when it comes to learning. Isn't that wonderful? I love that shit. Okay. It does help quite a bit to have this box here as a reminder, right? And again, I'm slowly going to be working on my lines. Okay. Cool. Wow. Okay, I guess my stream is lagging, at least on my other screen. What the fuck? Go forward, you piece of shit. Okay, I guess that's the best I can do. All right. Yeah, I know the lines are very wonky, but again, that's the whole point, right? Is the fact that trying to keep that in mind as I go forward. Trying to visualize everything as I go forward as well. Right. Now we got to think about this. Because that should be pretty long. There you go. This is good. I love how this really challenges my ability to make clean lines, right? Because that's what's wanted right now. We want to challenge ourselves. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of this looks almost incomprehensible because you're all morons. This is a fucking, of course, I don't know what to say to start insulting the audience, but I'm just thinking about how to add the perspective right now. It's not perfect, but again, this is line practice as well, right? And it'll end up looking relatively like, I assume, a bicycle is the point. But yeah, because I'm trying to make this bike so small at this point, it's clear that it's important to take it into consideration, in terms of just what it's going to look like moving forward. So if I move that up there, because again, of course, this is getting a bit higher. And then something like this. Right. Technically, we shouldn't be seeing this side. I'm still trying to figure out what that would look like, actually. Let me go back to the reference, because I don't think that makes too much sense. But again, this is blocking it off, right? Yeah, see? There you go. It's a bit better. Same thing here. Right? It's just about trying to figure out how things connect. So, okay, yeah, like technically that is as large as it should be. But there's also something happening right around here, which is where the bike comes into play, right? Something like that, I think. Who fucking knows? But just trying to figure it out. And then I think what would it look like from here? Would it just be, because I think this is inaccurate, of course. But what's happening here? Is it just a block? Maybe. But this is really good line practice. You see how the lines are so shit right now? Why? Because I've essentially readjusted my what's the better? I've readjusted my grip, right? You may notice my grip's a lot more loose, more casual. Right? Nobody's really watching this right now, of course, because I have 0 viewers, but that's okay. I'm not crying. I'm upset. And I might honestly just start spazzing out, but I'm not crying. That's for sure. Yeah, there you go. See, that's the other pipe coming down. I think. We see the bottom of this. Like that, right? So yeah, I messed up the perspective for the bottom here, but it's okay. I think it's okay. This is just me practicing at the end of the day. Right. We're just trying to figure out how this all makes sense. So I've definitely gotten this part a lot better down in terms of understanding how it connects. Right. But obviously this is something we need as well. Right. This is the And yeah, like now you guys are actually seeing what my lines look like way back in the beginning as well. When I first started using the brush pen, but because I'm basically retraining myself to draw it a bit more appropriately, you'll see now exactly how bad my lines were in the beginning as well, which I hope demystifies some part of the process, right? I hope this removes any if there were any doubts or any opinions that, oh, it's hard to get my lines this clean, or I don't know if I can do it, blah blah blah, all that fucking retarded limiting belief shit, right? I hope this unlimits your belief, if that's the word. I hope it limits it beyond the limitations. You see how fucking shit these lines are? You're welcome, right? I'm suffering, so you could have a goddamn ego boost, you piece of shit. But it's also about proportion, right? So I need to figure out exactly how it should be connecting. Of course, this all comes from trying to visualize what I'm even trying to do with the lines that I put down, right? This is where the drawing for imaginations practices have been doing very, very, very well for me, in that I'm slowly but surely starting to get better at just visualizing, I guess, the next steps, right? Or just keeping it in my mind. And I think this crazy scooter exercise, especially, has also really helped with that in general, because it's literally forcing me to think about all the different things that are going to be happening with these different parts, right? And again, even that it's not perfect. Like, look at that. The lines are so whack, but it's getting better. It's the most important thing, right? And again, I'm always trying to calculate to the best of my ability. But yeah, that's not bad. I'm gonna rest my brain. I guess this is a pretty shitty streaming time, but I guess if people can watch it when they have their time, then that's a win in my book. Let me rest my brain. That's actually nice. I just get to talk to myself. Same shit as my recording, but I guess I'm live, right? And if somebody decides to hop in, ask me some questions, I can be like, I'm not answering, and keep drawing. So it's nice. Only unfortunate thing is there's no music, but let me rest my brain. Honestly, the best thing to do regarding this bike is with anything, I think, is how they do character turnarounds in animation. I think some extent of that could be very useful uh, to me right now. Essentially, doing a turnaround, but with the actual like the mannequin that I have thus far, right? So, for example, let's see, how do I want to do this? Okay, I think I know. So I could have something like this, right? So again, still trying to figure out the proportions, but this is a great practice for line work, to be honest. Because look how fucking thin my lines have to be. It's amazing. Amazing! Fucking Psyche K reference. uh, Good old Ike-san. But I also have to think about the box I'm obviously putting this in, right? So yeah, drawing thin lines while keeping the hand stable with the brush pen is extremely difficult, but because it's difficult, it's worth doing, right? I should have brought this more forward. That's already a fuck up on my end. Yeah, I should have brought this way more forward. But again, as long as I'm hopefully understanding the concept, that too is a valuable learning journey, right? And by concept, I mean as long as I'm understanding how the shapes exist in the space that they reside in. Reside in the space that they reside in. Why do I speak like that? I don't know. There you go. It would be something like this, would it not? I believe. Yeah, basically be flat. Right around there, we have. I think this is correct. Again, I'm trying to keep the box in mind, and I'm looking through a fucking retarded view through my through the ring light camera holder. Hey, Dottie, hello, hello. Oh, look, a viewer, somebody who gives a shit about this channel. Wonderful. Give me money. Oh, sorry. Please give me money. And how's it going? What's up? Okay, look, you know what, bro? I'm past this. You need a fucking new emoji combination. I'm no longer butthurt. You can't affect me anymore. I'm fine. I'm completely fine, as they say. But yeah, how's it going? How's your artistic endeavors be holding up? Right. Okay. So this I need to figure out. This one's a bit straight. You don't really see much of that. I'm just doing it for the sake of, I guess, my understanding, but I think that's basically how it is. Right. Oh, I think he literally came to do a fucking finger pointing emoji and the cat emoji, which is essentially calling me a pussy. And then he's gone now. I believe he's left. I don't know, or maybe the streaming thing is no artistic endeavors, just a lot of allergies and sneezing. Oh, that's unfortunate. I mean, it is June, but goddamn, take your pills, brother. Down that shit, overdose if need be, but hopefully you get better. Okay, the box. I have to think about the box again, and I believe something like that. Yeah, see, like these lines I've never had as much trouble with, right? In this angle, right, going down this way or this way, it's pushing out that way. On get, I'm gonna on get. I believe is how it's said, right? On get. So I don't know what that means, to be honest. I genuinely don't know what that shit means. So on God, you're gonna what? I think get also means ass, right? That's like the new way to say ass. So I have no fucking idea. It's hard enough as it is to keep up with the fucking trends. And I'm only 27, god damn it. Shouldn't be that difficult. Okay. Precisely. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's very helpful. Sono torrida, as the Gyppies say. The Nipponese, the land of the Nipponese. Okay, so we bring it up, and we have this now. Right? Basically following the same thing. No, it means get, like goddamn, like goddamn. What are you goddamming? What are you goddamming? I'm so confused. What is goddamn worthy about whatever is happening right now? I am unsure. But I think this is how it would look over Donder. And then we have. Oh, I made this go way too far out. Okay, that's on me. Because it would be something like this. Right. So I guess it would have been closer together. You're 27, old man. Yeah, I guess. Apparently that's fucking old now. It's weird. High school feels like it was very recent, but it was 10 years ago. Yeah, I don't know. That's just what it is. But hey, I mean, I actually don't give a shit. I literally look the exact same as I was when I was 19 or like 20, maybe a little bit more aged, right? But I'm physically fit, so that's all that matters. You take care of yourself. You're jacked. You're gonna look young for a while. That's my cope. What the fuck is happening here? Okay, I gotta visualize this. So I gotta figure out a. Oh, this is way too small. That's why. Otherwise, this would have been extended outwards. Okay. I'm only 7 years younger than you. Don't worry. Jesus Christ, bro. That's the weird thing. Is someone 7 years younger than me is fucking 20 years old. It's so weird. Pain. Okay. Yeah, that's the weird part, to be honest. More than anything is just, yeah, the fact that somebody 7 years younger than me, like somebody even like people a decade younger than me are adults. You know, that's what trips me out more than anything. So yeah, that was a mistake, but the mistake wasn't derived from the fact that I made this too lengthy, possibly. Um, I think in terms of this perspective, it's important to obviously establish the body, and this thing needs to be much longer. While the angles are the same, it needs to probably we should make it double, right? There needs to be a sizable difference. So that's important to think about. And of course, the same mistake is going to translate over here, simply due to the fact that, of course, it's the same thing, right? Trying to visualize it as much as possible. Yeah, I kind of feel weird. I feel weird being 20. I still feel like a kid. That's gonna happen for a while. Um, I don't know if I'm much or if someone to really give advice per se. Oh wait, I fucked up the proportions here. But the only advice I can give is focus on something that you're gonna find enjoyable. Like build a skill essentially, right? Like the skill I'm building right now is art, and I'm creating a channel to showcase it, right? So that's kind of one little thing I'm doing. I'm also learning piano. I'm also focusing on my career, right? It's a lot of trials and tribulations. I can't really say I'm one to give incredible advice or whatever, but and I'm really not. But the feeling that you're still a kid, I don't think it goes away in some ways, but it's also because we live at a time where it's difficult to feel like an adult, right? How many people are really moved out right now, right? Okay, this isn't bad. Bad. This isn't bad in terms of. I think I'll always feel like a kid. I just enjoy my childish interests and just being whimsical for real. For real, for real. Yes, Dottie, very true. For real, for real. Uh, to be honest, I would say whatever interests you have, pursue the fuck out of them. You know, I don't think they're childish. I don't think any interests are childish. Because once you hit a high level in anything, or once you just actually just enjoy something and go off on it, you're not really a kid. You're just someone who's wow, you're really good at that thing, and then everybody starts sucking your dick. So at least that's been my experience, minus the dick sucking or praise or anything positive. So it's been fun. But okay, so I clearly fucked up my character turnaround thing, and I think I made that way too big. But I'm learning, and I'm gonna be resting my brain. So yes, please keep me on the back out and draw. It'd be very depressing if this was your only, if this was the only thing you're doing, just listening to me. Yes, Master Uguay. Yes, your focus needs more focus. All right, cool. I'm back. I mean, I never left. I was just resting my brain. I'm gonna draw whilst you yap. Please do. That's the whole thing I'm trying to fucking get across with my channel is give me retention, keep my shit on in the background, but feel like you're part of the community. It's emphasis on the come, um, unity, right? And you, that's fine, true. Come and unity. That's that's literally what we're about, I guess. I'm a genius. I didn't even mean to do that, but I'm a fucking genius. Okay, now we're gonna rotate this a little bit further up, a little bit further up. But yeah, don't fucking please, for the love of God, do not have my videos on as your primary source of entertainment because you're just asking to hate yourself, right? So I'm turning this all the way up now, right? Like, how can I explain this? I would like to bridge that gap between doing and teaching. So in this, the perspective was basically like that, right? It was just essentially almost like a 1 point perspective box, but you're seeing the top of it. That's basically what this one was. And now I'm just moving it. But now we're just rotating it, so we're seeing the underside. Basically the same perspective, but we're just seeing the underside now, right? Another way to get down the proportions, right? And I'm only doing this for an hour. I don't know how time flies when I stream. It's actually crazy to me, but let's try again. And I do need to keep the perspective in mind, right? Okay, so and ghosting helps a lot with that. The underside of this. The fuck? Hold up. Wait. The fuck? This might be completely wrong, but we're about to find out. Fuck, man, this shit's so hard. God damn it. Ah, is what I'd say if I had a negative growth mindset, but I don't. I love this. I'm so happy. Remember, everybody, just keep gaslighting yourself that you actually enjoy this. Okay, so I ended up turning it accidentally, so that's on me. I was gonna do some digital art, but you convinced me to do traditional. I enjoy drawing sharks traditionally. Yeah, that's awesome. Um, I think traditional is probably the best way to really go about it in terms of building the foundational skills, right? I'm not saying only do traditional, but the mindset should be if you want your fundamentals to be strong, just in terms of making a mark, right? It's probably best to do that traditional because that's where you're going to get the tactile feedback. That's where you're going to understand how to hold your material. That's where you're going to understand. That's why I promote ink. I promote ink only to the as much as I can. Why? Because that's what's really going to force you to understand. I'm a dabbler. Yeah, yeah, that's what it's going to force you to think ahead, right? And make decisive marks. And it is scary. Don't get me wrong. Like it is actually fucking. It's literally hell in the beginning, but that's how you learn. Like that's literally how you fucking learn. See, like I fucked this up here because I wasn't thinking hard enough, but that's how I'm learning, right? I don't even think I got the perspective down properly here today for this one. Oh wait, yes, yeah, definitely didn't because this is upside down. Yeah, see, this is completely wrong. This is completely wrong, but it's about the fact that ink allows you to understand where you made mistakes. You know what I mean? And that's another thing is that it teaches you to just be like, okay, well, I made a mistake. Oh no, that sucks. Anyways, moving on, right? Can't change the mistake you made. You're only reinforcing that mistakes happened, mistakes will continue to happen, and it's just my duty to pay attention more, right? That's all you can do. See, like that is way too much of a curve. And again, very unconfident lines. Why? Because I'm also not just focusing on perspective, I'm trying to focus on making my lines clean as well. Any skill that requires you to think about a million things is a very difficult skill, and art is the penultimate skill. Emphasis, not even a fucking pun, but I guess pen being the pun. Oh my god, I should stop. Pen being the pun. But yeah, it's the penultimate skill in my opinion. I mean, it's the only really skill that I'm dabbling in, but like, bro, it's fucking hard as shit. You know, it really forces you to think. Why do you think everybody who wants to draw gives up drawing? More than any other skill. Like the ones that really require you to fucking think. Right? Why? Why is it that those ones have a really big barrier to entry? Because people are absolute fucking pussies. Complete kumquats. Right? I think that's wrong too. But again, I think I'm getting it down. Right? Yeah, people are pussies. They don't want to learn. They don't want to try. It applies to everything and anything, but art really sort of reinforces that in the sense that it shows you like, oh, I'm a bitch. I don't want to learn. I just want to be good at something without trying. Right. So it sort of showcases that in a very sort of honest way, you know? I think I fucked this up. Uh, Yeah, I actually lost the perspective here. But let's see. That's why I always promote think as hard as you can. Don't be so precious about the work that you do. And again, I'm literally just regurgitating what all the actual good artists say, like Peter Han, Kim Jong Il, Kyle Kopinski, right? Uh, who else? Even Tieran Holtet, Broken Draw, right? Check his channel out. I'm plugging you, so please plug me. But it's the truth. If you want to learn something, you just got to enjoy learning, right? All the difficulties. You are a good artist. Thank you. I'm okay. And I'm not saying this to be like, I'm okay, give me attention, although that would be nice. I literally mean that. I know where my flaws are, so it's hard to not think anything but I'm okay, right? But that doesn't mean I don't appreciate the progress I've made, because I know the progress I've made, and I'm actually very proud of the progress I've made, and I'm very well aware the progress I've made is also uh, above average, right? 2 inches. So, but yeah, like I try to keep a very positive and continuous mindset towards it. Like I'm making so many mistakes right now. This is taking very long, and it's also very difficult to talk while drawing. But that's a skill, right? And that's a skill that you got to learn at one point or another. And I'm sure mistakes have been made, but yeah, like definitely mistakes have been made. But that's how you learn. Yeah, thank you. What the fuck was your name again? Dottie? Yes, thank you, Dottie. See, I don't know if this is correct because this is a difficult angle. Why is it a difficult angle? Because I purposely made a difficult angle. Right, this was a mistake. This should have been way out here. Hold up. See, that was a mistake as well. And then like this is supposedly another covering. So lots of mistakes happening. And why are these mistakes happening? Because I'm struggling to visualize the perspective along with the grid, the shapes, how they connect. I'm struggling with a million different things right now. So what's the most important part that of what I just said? The fact that I can recognize that I'm struggling with these things, right? That's the most important. Nothing else. The most important part is to recognize your struggle. Because once you can recognize where you're having issues, it's easier to actually work towards them, right? Again, like this, there's a huge fuck up happening here, so I'm just gonna ignore that, right? Lots of fuck ups, insane amount of fuck ups happening here. So, what do? You try to think even harder, try to compartmentalize it, much like all the trauma. Such a good joke, but I don't know. It's difficult. It's very difficult, right? I'm just gonna leave this as it is because it's yeah. That's another thing Peter Han says. Like if it's fucking shit and you can't do anymore, you can't do anymore, right? Like yeah, I could draw that and make it go out, right, like this, but nothing's changing here. We don't really see much, so it's gonna be like that. That's a lot of mistakes. That's a lot of convolutedness. So the next step is to again try again, think even harder, do it from an easier perspective, but still something that pushes me because this really pushes me. It's a bike. Is a bike. Yes, at least see. Well, that's the progress, right? You can tell that I'm trying to make a bike-like shape. It's a mannequin for a bike. Yeah. So trying to break it down into its simple shapes, right? The covering, the wheel, the pipe attachment, whatever, cylindrical bent cylinder attachment. Looks great. Thank you. I appreciate you. Oh Jesus Christ! It's like fucking coffee burps, which I'm gonna drink more of. Thank you. Kalpak. I don't know if I should give that a brown accent or not. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Kalpak or Kalpak. Who knows? But now, futuristic bike. Yeah, I mean, the scooter reference that I'm using actually has a lot of hard edges. That's why I keep practicing this because it's a great way to practice my perspective, right? And again, talking while I'm doing it is another great way to just really get it down. Okay, what's another angle that I can do that will push it? Well, we can do something like this. Ghosting is another thing I need to keep doing. Ghosting is something I would actually really recommend everybody to do. It's basically where you're just ghost. It's basically doing the movement without committing to the movement. So, for example, if I'm just ghosting a line going like this and then I commit, right? Like you ghost, and then you just commit to the line. The whole point is the fact that, especially in the beginning, Drawbox really teaches this, but it's all derived from Peter Hahn's teachings, right? Which is derived from, I believe, Norman. I forgot his first name, which I feel bad about, but Peter Hahn's teacher, his mentor, he created dynamic Bible or dynamic sketching, I believe. But that's the whole thing. Is just you're committing to the line. So again, right? I'm ghosting, going down, and then I'm just like, okay, well, I fucked up. But what a fucking horrible example. Can't even teach myself, let alone others. Let's do it again. Okay, going down, and then just commit, right? And whether it ends up being like, or whether it being like this, you're basically, when you make this error, tell yourself, good, I made an error. Now I know what not to do. When you do this, you tell yourself, wonderful. Now I know what to do, what it feels like when I make something or when I do something correct, right? That's just the kind of mindset to have. But let's see, and it can also help with just reinforcing the perspective, because again, I do need to see this in my mind. So we can try again here. So if that's the perspective, you got to keep seeing the angles. That's the biggest thing. Is it is literally possible to teach yourself to see, you know what I mean? Like it's literally possible to teach yourself to see angles that otherwise would not exist, to see a world that doesn't exist. That's the crazy part about art, is you can literally teach yourself, you can train yourself to have a vision most people would consider to be quote unquote talent, but it's not talent. They're just fucking shit. Simple as that. Like I can train myself to just look. I'm gonna skedaddle to listen to music. Keep up the good work. Yeah, no worries. I don't think my voice was the best adjunct to your learning, anyways. So yeah, enjoy your music, and actually keep me on in the background. Keep me on mute, you motherfucker, and enjoy your art and enjoy your drawing. Yeah. Again, I don't expect my channel to really have much of a blow up, quote unquote, for a while, because right now I'm in the learning phase. Right? Nobody gives a shit about someone who's learning. You guys don't give a shit about me because I'm learning. You are here to watch good art. And I don't make good art. I make art that is passable because I'm learning. And that's the whole point, is that I'm not here to be the amazing artist. I'm here to be the amazing artist who shows you the journey of becoming an amazing artist, right? That's why this channel will blow up, because people are here to see, oh, okay, well, if he can do it, I can do it. Not, oh, this is just another really, really, really good artist. I just think you have an amusing personality and want to watch you learn. Fuck you, bro. How dare you go against everything I just said? Thank you. God damn it. I'm trying to be all deep and be like, this is what this channel is all about. And you're just like, no, 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 you're cool. I like you. Fuck you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Please give me money. Yes, my personality is amusing, but it's also painful to have that personality and not be able to turn it off. So, you win some and you lose some. In my case, brain cells. But I think this is too big. This is way too big. This is not what I wanted to do. This is not what I wanted to do at all. Shit. But again, this is how you learn, right? Why did I make this mistake? Because I didn't visualize. And as you saw, I just went like, and I just did the line. So what was the other mistake? I didn't plan ahead at all, right? But this is how we learn, And this is actually, like, we can work with this. Why can we work with this? Because I know what other shapes should attach. You should always be yourself. You should be yourself always, man. Don't change for anybody. You'll find your audience. 100%. There has to be at least 5 million retards out there who are just waiting for a channel like this, They're like, I want to listen to a piece of shit just ramble while he gets better at art, right? There has to be. And I want him to unashamedly, is that a word? Unashamedly? I want him to unashamedly just beg me for money. I know that's what you guys all want, right? It's like, oh my god, he's so genuine about his scumminess. It's genius, because I can just be myself and be a fucking piece of shit. It's amazing. And soon you will all give me exactly what I want. Money. I'm one of them. Thank you, Dottie. Soon you will be one of millions. And then you can come over the fact that you're one of the OGs, and I'll give you like a shout out every third video or something. Be like, guys, he's an OG. Give him attention, like that. Sorry, my voice went a bit high pitched there. It's not normal. It never really happens, But yeah, like, I'm very, very, very confident this channel is gonna blow up. It's just time, because again, and it's all based on my consistency at the end of the day, right? So that's really all it is. Time, consistency, and swag. Lots of swag. But swag takes more time actually. See, so we got it's like that, like this, you know, just indicating form, right? Still trying to keep the perspective in mind because I kept doing that ghosting, whether it's physically or with my mind, right? That's another thing. Art, and I'll keep saying this shit just so it reinforces it for you guys as well, is any art session where you literally spent your brain just thinking as hard as possible, right? Whether it's a day where you feel like shit, but as long as you're literally just doing your best to practice and focus on a couple things, primarily being, visualizing, perspective, line, right? Those are the fundamentals. I'm speaking to an audience who cares about the fundamentals, I assume, right? As long as you're putting in that cognitive effort, it's a good session. That's all you need to think. And that's something that took me a while to sort of internalize as well, right? And that's a sort of mindset that I'd like to encourage all of you to have, because it is really all you need, right? Is that mindset. You can do anything you want, all that shit, right? So it's true though. You can. Look at me. I'm literally just some random dickhead, and I'm getting better just by listening to people who are 100 times better than me. What do they say? Fundamentals form. Fundamentals form. They're always fucking jerking off over that shit. So if we actually just put our ego aside and try to take it seriously for once, we realize that, oh wow, maybe this person who has a lot more experience than me knows exactly what they're talking about, right? Maybe there just might be something to it. It's possible that they actually know how I can get better. It's incredible, isn't it? I just have to stop being a piece of shit. But yeah, that's what I would recommend, is just any session where you actually just using your brain. You're literally thinking as hard as you can. Emphasis on the hard, right? That's all that matters, in my opinion, right? And I am thinking as hard as I can. Again, the skill I'm building right now is fucking so painful. It's so goddamn painful because I'm talking while I'm literally having to fucking talk while I do this shit. That is very difficult. Very difficult. Like I can't explain how fucking difficult it is, but I will right now. It's very difficult. Like I just said, right? Keep having to reinforce the perspective, right? And like this connection also something I have to think about, right? Because there's a bit of a cylinder jutting out, so I have to essentially be like, okay, it's here, this is the middle, but then I bring it back, and then perhaps I go like this, right? Which again results in maybe not the best cylinder attachment, but it's something. But again, guys, if you're listening to me, great, but please also draw along. I would not. I would hate for my channel to be something that's just entertainment. That's great. That's wonderful that it's entertainment. That's awesome. But when I say watch me become great, I say all this shit. I'm the way I am, blah blah blah. But I really want to encourage people to just do it. Do the actual actions themselves that will reap you the benefits of your goals, which is, I assume your goal is that, hey, I want to be a bit better at art, right? But I would also like to hope that my channel attracts people who actually give a shit about art as well, right? Like actually wanting to become good. I would hope, not just kind of dicking around. I don't know how much more. I don't know how many more fucking times I have to keep spazzing out about the fundamentals until somebody actually takes it seriously, right? Okay, this is difficult because it is. Let's see. This is the perspective. These are the lines. What's happening here? Oh, okay. It's going down like this. There you go. Me, 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 me. I don't know what you're referring to when you say me, 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 me. To be honest, I have no idea. I'm sorry, but something like this. And then, yep, lines are getting wonky. And then, yeah, it keeps going like so. It's also connected back here. But yeah, okay, this ellipse has issues mainly because I didn't, this looks wonky. This perspective is off here, right? Yeah, that perspective is off here. It's supposed to be much more curved like so. There, that's better. You see? If we just pretend that line doesn't exist, that's a lot better. Okay, and then this connects like so. We have this coming down. We also have this thing here. It's going down diagonally, right? Then it's coming down. There you go. This is still something I'm figuring out, this connection, but it's actually crazy how, what is it? Let's say like 12 hours later from, it's been about a couple of weeks that I really decided to take crazy scooters seriously, right? And again, proportionally, this is really bad. Like proportionally, this is really, really bad because this bike is not supposed to be this big whatsoever because I made the wheel way too big. But because I actually understand the shapes a lot better, this still looks halfway decent. You know, it still doesn't look so bad. But again, I forgot to add the piping. But now that I did, now it looks even more complete, right? So it's not bad. But I'm gonna rest my brain. To those of you watching, again, I encourage you to draw along, right? If there's anything to take away from what I say, please just take away the fact that put as much cognitive effort as you can onto the things that you're practicing and derive enjoyment from the mistakes you make, right? Literally gaslight yourself. Tell yourself every time you make a mistake, just force yourself to feel good and happy from that mistake. That's, you know, fucking neuroscience bullshit and all that stuff, right? Like I just, yeah, just believe it. Just believe it, right? Who knows if it works? Who knows if it doesn't? But objectively, is it not better to just enjoy when you make a mistake or just really try hard when it comes to the thing that you're trying to do rather than not try and feel frustrated when you make mistakes? It's like you either have the good one or the bad option. Good one supposedly, what the fuck am I saying? The good, I need to stop, I need to slow down. The good one supposedly is supported by neuroscience. The bad one is just bad for you and it doesn't feel good. This is the most fucking simple answer. Oh, and also take breaks. Take 10 to 20-second breaks every so often to utilize the gap effect, which is essentially your brain replays what you're doing backwards for some reason at 20 times the speed. So it's 200% efficiency gains when it comes to learning. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I guess join along if you want to fucking do it. It's just silence. All right. Wow, 6 people watching. Well, I guess 5 technically because I'm one of them, keeping my fucking iPad on the side. But let's see. This comes down here. Okay, we don't see that. Yeah, this is way too big though. Right? We can. I think I don't know how discerning the viewers' eyes are if there are actually viewers. Which again, I've been actively discouraging viewers. But if there are people watching, you can probably tell that it just looks off because this thing is so tiny, right? Yeah, the entire thing was supposed to be much smaller. I've already like this to work on my line art. This is essentially the size of the wheel I've decided on, right? Like this is the size of the wheel that I've decided on, and that's basically setting the precedent for the entire bike mannequin, right? Like this is way too big. These are all way too big. But I'm doing this because I'm really trying to focus on line quality because right now, as you can see, if I hold my pen lightly and I just try to make lines, I'm basically essentially 6 to 8 months back in terms of my line quality. If I hold it a bit tighter, it looks the exact same. So apparently I should just kill myself. But I'm trying to avoid holding it tightly. Right? Some things in life that are tight are good, like my butt cheeks. But other things, like my grip on my pen, not so good. And again, I'm like fucking artistically trying to become like Kim Jong-il or whatever my version of that is. But it's really important. One of the main things he says is hold your pen lightly. And I thought I was doing that, but it's clear when I look at old videos. And again, I had that pain like 2 weeks ago in my first live stream, right? Like right here, my thumb joint. That I'm clearly holding it way more tense than I need to be. So I guess that's another tip. There's always a lot to think about when it comes to art. So the main thing I can suggest is 3 things, right? Start with 3 things if you're a beginner: line quality, perspective, and visualizing, I guess, right? That's the main 3 things Kim Jong-il to this day thinks about. Not to this day, to the day that he passed away, thought about, I'm assuming, is those 3 things. Because from the lectures that I've seen, that's always what he talks about, right? But let's actually practice just this bike covering shape, but I want to practice it at the size that I'm going to be doing it as, right? So that's also important. Like this fucks me up because the box here, the box, the way it's set up in my mind is a bit different. Yeah, because it's like this is the box having to go upwards. This is why I'm visualizing it at a much larger scale, right? I'm always trying to think about that Y, like I guess like this, right? But obviously in any angle. But I'm always trying to think because these are the reference points, right? These three lines, these three axes that you could say. Because once you have this in your mind as a reference point, is my approach. Is like once I have this as a reference point, but I'm zooming out and I can just see that line consistently, but on a much larger scale visually in my mind and in terms of just calculating, then it's much easier to just be like, oh, well, if I just have these three lines, then I can just start calculating angles like, oh, I wanted to hit this, or I want to hit the middle like this, right? Or I want to hit like this, maybe a bit higher, 2/3 of that like this, in terms of just angles in my mind, right? So that's what I'm doing here. Is like I'm thinking in relation to always two axes, whatever. Anyways, and this is there's a lot of S's in my vocabulary when I speak clearly. And again, for some reason, live streaming, it's really harsh on the mic. It doesn't process it well. Even though on videos they're fine, but that's what I'm thinking about right now. It's really difficult. Really, really, really difficult. But that's why, and talking while fucking doing it is killing me right now. But that's why I'm gonna actually take a little step back and try to think about it. Because if I have something like this is literally the box that I put it in, right? So it's coming, I guess it's like this. Okay, I think that makes sense. I mean, part of that is muscle memory, but it's also really important to know the actual logic behind it as well, right? Otherwise, you're kind of just dicking around and not really understanding what you're drawing, right? This is why line quality matters so much, because that's how you know whether you're wait, what the fuck am I saying? Line quality matters so much because when it comes to the scale, it's important for things to be clean. Like this, you see this line right here. This is basically what I want at all times at any given point, and but even more consistent. And that's going to take me minimum 6 months and probably like what, hundreds of hours of intentional practice. So again, I'm really trying not to sugarcoat this entire process because I don't want any of you idiots to think that this fucking art is a lot easier than it actually is, because it isn't. In no way in fucking hell it is. Okay, and then this is difficult to do actually. Yeah, that's supposed to be the bike covering, right? And then we have the wheel, which again, I need to think about the proportions of that wheel. So if that's the box, see, it's getting a bit too big. Actually, this is a lot better. This is most likely how the size this one should have been. It's a subtle difference, but it's an important difference, right? Because actually it should have been here. So it's actually moved out a bit too much, but whatever. The point is, see, you see how thick those lines got and how I had to readjust because I don't have the line confidence for that yet. So it all takes time. And that's, again, just the fact that I have to visualize while talking and have to think about can't even fucking explain myself. I'm on that caffeine high, oh boy, yeah. But hi, banana milk. Hello, banana milk. How are you? How are you doing? But yeah, the fact that I have to talk over the things I'm focusing on, which is line quality, perspective, visualizing, whatever, form, jerking off. Well, I don't fucking know, whatever. There's a lot to think about. The point is, my brain is dying. Jesus Christ, banana milk is spazzing out. Caps lock A multiple times. Jesus. Impressive, but also concerning. How are you, boss? I'm boss. I guess I'm boss. Viggy fam bossing, yeah. Oh god, that's a shit joke. Never do that. If anybody has a better fucking idea about the whole Viggy fam bullshit I've been doing, please do let me know. Also, the perspectives off here. I just realized. Yeah, see, happens. I'm doing well. I'm just really happy to be drawing right now. Right now that I've just sort of told myself that I'm gonna be doing. I think I lost the perspective here actually. But now that I've told myself I'm going to be doing crazy scooters for a while, it makes it a lot easier just to focus and try to enjoy it, right? But yes, I'm doing well. How are you doing? How's your day or night been? Right? That's also not that great. But that's okay. Like the thing is when you have to acknowledge when something is a mistake while also just being like, okay, moving on, it's a mistake, right? And feel good about that because that's how you learn. Hell yeah, you are so damn consistent. Oh, appreciate it. Thank you. That's the one thing I seem to have going for me, apart from my charming personality, my beautiful, arousing voice, and my golden locks. I am not going bald, by the way. That's just a funny title I came up with. Actually, I hope not. I hope I'm not going bald. Colon 3, classic emoji. I love that emoji. I use that shit in my descriptions all the time. For the real fans out there, every single one of my videos have a related description either to the contents of the video or nowadays primarily the thumbnail, right? So yeah, for you real ones, as they say. When I get bigger, both in girth as well as channel size. That's something that only the ones following my content will know. I told my girlfriend, and she's like, "I'm not fucking doing that shit. I'm not reading your I'm not going back to read your descriptions." So for that, I say, "Fuck you, you fucking piece of shit." I'll remember this when I beat you in Minecraft. Anyways, yeah, I guess consistency is what I have going for me, so I appreciate it. It's the main thing, I guess, to focus on. I'm gonna leave this as it is, and we're gonna do another angle. But let me sip more of my coffee. Oh, she just messaged me. She just messaged me. No, fuck you, with 3 diagonal laughing crying emojis, and now she's being called out live, and she's gonna get angry about that and then message me again. How dare you call me out? She's probably very flustered right now, and she doesn't know how to respond because I'm calling out her every move. Have you tried drawing with fountain pens? No, I haven't. No, not I have not. They look really fun to draw with, but I don't know how new you are to my channel. I cannot talk right now. I don't know how new you are to my channel, but I'm very artistically focused on just the brush pen because it is, in my opinion, and from what I've seen, the hardest pen to draw with, right? In terms of getting down line. Very new. Sorry, no, don't apologize. I appreciate the fact that you have found my channel and seem to be enjoying my content for what it's worth. Right. At the end of the day, I'm just posting my art practice while I ramble. So it's just funny that there's an audience for it. But it's also not surprising because there's literally zero channels like this on the internet. So I assume just the fact that it's novel gets a lot of people's attentions, right? And just also the fact that I actually am getting good. Right? Everybody's getting a fucking hard on about my progression through me and they're just living through me. So that's probably what it is as well. And that's why I encourage you to stop doing that and fucking keep me on the background and give me retention, muted, of course, and draw. Actually, focus on your drawings. But yeah, no, I haven't tried drawing with fountain pen. I probably will at one point, right? But again, I'm very long term. So this is like the next 10, 20 years, 10 years minimum is going to be fundamentals and shapes and understanding all of that. So yeah. Okay, what's a difficult angle to draw in that I can keep focusing on to get the size of this down, right? Uh hey, banana milk, I guess if you're listening, why don't you give me a random perspective to draw this in? Right? And by that I mean what box should I encompass this bike in? Right? What perspective? Top down, from the bottom, maybe from the side like this. Who knows? Please do let me know if you give it enough of a shit. But yeah, let me know what perspective you want me to practice drawing this bike in. Uh, anything that challenges me is good. That's all that matters, right? Whatever is difficult is worth it. Also, YouTube's been fucking blueballing me. I'm at 499 subs, goddammit. Bro, just give me the 500 sub. That's so fucking annoying. All of yesterday, it was at 499. Okay, well, Banana Milk has not responded, so I'm just gonna go back to practicing in a different angle. Okay, well, clearly I still struggle with the bottom angle, and the top one has been a lot easier. The front one was okay, nothing amazing. I mean, proportion is my biggest issue right now, along with a million other things, but it's been an hour. Oh, holy shit, I've already been drawing for an hour. Well, I don't want to make it more than an hour, even though I would love to. So let me do one more and really take my time. Right. Really figure out the box I want to draw this in. Let's make it a really fucky angle too. Okay, let's do that. This is the box. Let's keep maybe honestly this will probably help if I ghost on a larger area, right? It'll force me to think in a larger area, even if I'm drawing in this size. That might be a good way to go about it. But so with that being said, if this is the perspective, you see how it keeps changing because it's so difficult to keep it constant. But if that's the perspective I'm thinking of, then why don't we start with something like that, right? And then, no, wait, it should have been something like this, and then something like that, right? And if that's the perspective, should have been something like this, perhaps. And again, it's like while I have to visualize the perspective, I also have to visualize what forms I'm going to be drawing. I have to see ahead. I have to visualize the perspective, or you have to. I guess I can address the audience, but what we have to do when we're actually trying to get good is, especially in this stage, focus on our line work, make sure our lines are clean. But before we even put down a line, we have to visualize the perspective, keep reinforcing it in our mind, and visualize the form, as much of it as possible. Like visualize at least like 3 of the solid forms going forward. Ideally, you want to visualize this entire thing. And that's what I'm trying to focus on. It's like you want to visualize that. So that's a million different things to think about. I'm also fucking talking while I do this, which is so painful. But and I have to calculate, right? So if this is what I'm visualizing, this is what I got down. Then what else? Okay, so this is going to be like this, right? And then again, this. There you go. Yeah, you see? Oh, but see, now the line wasn't that good as well, right? So all these different things, every single fucking one of them it's all a skill. It's every single one of it is a skill, right? Even this right here, I'm visualizing this. I have to think about the ellipse that is covered inside of this, right? And because I have to think ahead, and because I've done this a bunch of times, I have to think about the attachment, the pipe attachment. Okay, Banana Milk has a question though. Would you give some tips for beginners on how to draw the forms right? A bunch of crying emojis and gah. So the best thing you can do, and I'm just gonna tell you what I did, and that's how I got to this point, because I assume you're asking, you basically are trying to get to this level of skill and beyond, right? First thing I can tell you is you always start with the basics, right? I assume by forms you mean box, right? How to get the forms right. And really the first thing, and this is a tip that Uncomfortable from Drawbox, like the creator gave me, is not gave me, but their teaching is essentially first understand the rules. You can't draw a cube right. Exactly, because you don't understand what a cube is yet, right? You don't understand general rules of perspective. So first, it's always you want to go simple and you want to start with a general understanding. It's why I keep talking about Artwad, because Artwad breaks it down step by step in their roadmap, right? I'm gonna shill for them as much as possible, because I'm gonna be one of the greatest artists that you'll see, and I'm gonna do it primarily through their methods in terms of draftsmanship, right? I'll probably move past it at one point, but the fundamentals will be based on them. That's why I fucking suck their dick so much. But yes, I've been drawing Drawbox for a month now. Okay, Drawbox is great. I started with Drawbox. I did them for 6 months, but they did not. They do a very, very horrible job, in my opinion, of actually making it entertaining and fun to do. Drawbox says this. This is what Drawbox says: draw a giant fucking box on the page. And now do that 250 times. Draw a giant box in isolation. That is not fun. Yeah, the cue part's confusing. Exactly. They explain perspective very well, right? But the application is not that good. Here's how I'm going to explain it to you, because this is how I understood it, right? All we need to know is that there is a concept known as the horizon line. It is a line where things, yeah, the 250 box challenge. Yes, exactly. There is a concept. The biggest thing that made it really difficult for me was understanding that this shit is just a concept. What is a concept? A way to explain things. That's it, right? What is the concept of 1 + 1? Math, right? It's just a way to describe the world. So without going too deep, it's just there exists the horizon line, or the eye level, right? Our eye level. That exists. It's just a line, right? It's a point, and then things converge towards that point. What does converge mean? They just get closer and closer together until they're at a point, right? This is obviously not the best example, but whatever. And all I did was, first, all you need to do is just imagine that horizon line. Imagine 2 points on the horizon line, and then just start creating the lines that converge to it, that go towards it. Like, okay, I got one there, and you're just thinking really, really hard, right? If this is 3 point perspective, maybe you got a one line there, and you're just thinking. And you do this hundreds of times, right? Okay, we're just trying to make it all converge, right? And allow yourself. How many hours would you suggest, or how many cubes/forms in a day would you suggest? Just do it for an hour, bro. Just go for an hour a day. I literally only draw for an hour a day. Okay, well, now I draw for 2 hours a day because I don't have I'm fucking jobless, so I'm looking for work and I have more time to do this shit. But in the beginning, literally, like for a year and a half, 2 years, it was just an hour 5 days a week. But let me finish my explanation. Yeah, it's just imagining. Literally, just this is what I mean by think really, really, really hard, right? Just think really hard about that imaginary line, and think really hard about 2 points on that line, and then think really hard about just having your lines go towards it, right? If I'm here, it's like, okay, if I'm here, then it would be something like this, right? Because it's skewed perspective. It's like things are going towards that. Sorry for the unnecessary app. No, it's not unnecessary. And I understand there's a stream delay and lag, and you're curious, which is awesome. The first step is that you actually want to get better, right? The second step is to enjoy the process of getting better. So it's the work that you put in. And bro, I have a giant binder to the right of my room, right? A giant binder filled with 200 pages of just clusters. So this is the first step. Do this a bunch. But to make it more fun, don't do these boxes in isolation. Because you know what's even harder? You know what really pushes your skill? Adding boxes connected to it. Because now you have to keep in mind this convergence. You have to keep all the parallel lines in mind, but now you're adding something to it. Oh, and really just do this only in pen. It's going to be scary, right? But again, the errors you make, literally just feel good. Gaslight yourself into feeling good about the errors that you make. That's what I did. That's literally neuroscience, apparently. If you tell yourself to feel good for making errors, your brain holds on to the errors and then rectifies them in passing, right? During sleep and just give yourself little 10-second breaks during your practice, right? I said this earlier, but your brain basically just replays that shit at 20 times the speed. And it's learning while you take these little 10-second breaks during your practice. So try to incorporate that as often as you can when you remember to, right? I hope this makes sense. But what I'm essentially saying is start with the very basics of just focusing on your line, right? The quality of your lines, and imagining, whether with your hands, like do as much with your hands ghosting as necessary, but also do it with your mind. So don't always rely on your hand, right? And just focus on just having a horizon line above, below, at it, and just adding a couple points, and then just drawing a bunch of different boxes which converge to those points, and once you can do that decently, just start adding. Like once you're like, okay, I'm kind of comfortable with this, immediately make it slightly more difficult by adding boxes on top of it, right? So something like that, right? Suddenly you are now making it even more difficult for yourself, which is good, right? Because it's forcing you to think about all the different convergences that are happening, but it's also making you intuitively, because you're thinking so hard, your brain is working at it, even when you're not working at it, right? It's how learning works. It's actually the opposite of exercise. Is your brain gets smaller because it's straining so much. Your brain is actually performing worse. You are performing worse when you're making the effort, but it gets bigger, quote unquote, stronger afterwards, right? Which is why it's very important to derive pleasure from the practice and, quote, again, very stereotypically, enjoy the process, because that's the best way to learn, is to literally genuinely just make a concentrated effort and enjoy the mistakes that you make. And of course, focus on the mistakes, learn from them. A mistake you can make right now is just, okay, I'm going to draw another box here, and you do this, right? Oh no, that's going really off the point I made right here. Great, you'll remember that now, right? But you can still just go along with it because you're drawing in pen. You're like, okay, fuck it. I can literally just go along with it. Okay, now I'm thinking about a box. And because I already made this mistake, just commit to the mistake. People won't know, right? Oh, look, I got a fucking box right there, and it's really convergent. Right? You got to think about all these different points. I'm telling you right now, what I'm doing right now is fucking difficult. Not to me anymore. It's not that hard to me anymore. Why? Because I've already done all the thinking for hours, hundreds of hours, right? Months and months and months. I've done that thinking. So now I don't have to think about it anymore, right? And it's not perfect, but it's intuitive and it's close enough. You strive for perfection in your thinking and your effort. And that perfection, that constant striving for perfection, what I'm doing here, I'm striving for perfection, will result in intuition, which you can then bend and play with, i.e., learn the rules before you can break them. What does that really mean? Really internalize the rules, really make a concentrated effort to essentially embody the rule in your practice. Message retracted. The fuck, you were talking shit? I want to know what you said. Fuck, I forgot to check it. You piece of shit, I'll remember this. But I hope that helps. I hope that helps. And I'm not saying only do this. I went off. I only practiced the fundamentals for literally a year and a half, right? Like literally boxes and cylinders. But I also drew a little bit here and there for fun, right? Do you have a Discord server? No, I do not. Join Artwad. I got a shill for them. But yeah, definitely I would say do Artwad. They have a freemium membership, so you can just sign up. They ask for payment information, but they won't charge you because it's freemium. Check out their beginner roadmap. I think you can access the first couple lessons, and just do 10 times what they require of you. That's the only way to get good. No matter how much practice these programs give you, and they actually have added grind nodes, you always want to do way more than what's required. Why? Because that's how you learn, right? That's literally how you learn. So, I was just wondering if you would review my ellipses. Oh, dude, what the fuck? Why are people asking for my opinion on this shit? I'm literally equally as shit. I don't know what I'm doing, man. But you are now in 500 subs. Holy shit! Let's fucking go. That type of shit, right? That's amazing. I'm at 500. Okay, I'm gonna have to record the Q&A video sometime this week, I guess. And I will be wearing fucking my brown is coming out. I will be wearing a very fitted shirt in order to thirst trap my current and future audience. And I'm gonna make that exact same joke in the video as well. So just a heads up. There's no fucking originality here. But yeah, they say sex sells, so I'm gonna sell my entire fucking body to the art community, which is known for buying, of course. Everybody knows artists love to buy. Right? Artists are the most affluent of buyers. So again, I'm reinforcing the perspective. Oh, by the way, banana milk, I hoped that helped you understand what I was talking about in terms of just how to approach it. I'm not saying it is the definitive approach, but obviously it's worked very well for me in terms of just, okay, yeah, practice the fundamentals, grind it, and just be patient. Patience and just taking your time is key, right? So that's also really important. That's one thing I've realized is just you got to be patient about it. They say patience is a virtue, but it's true. You really just have to enjoy the process and take your time, because otherwise it's just not going to end well in terms of, okay, that's actually, I shouldn't have put any lines there. That's a complete mistake. Yeah, it's back here. Okay, cool. So that's fine. So I hope, apart from my rambling, the main things I keep wanting to reiterate is just put excess amount of effort, enjoy the mistakes, focus on them, and derive happiness from them, even if you have to gaslight yourself, because that's apparently neuroscientifically accurate. And then, what else? Yeah, like think really hard. Yup, slow and precise strokes. I will be mindful. Exactly. Loose grip, all that stuff. I understand. There's a lot of stuff to think about art. That's why the whole point of this channel is to demystify art, right? There's so much shit to think about. So, and people forget, right? When you get more advanced, you literally forget all the work you had to do, not intentionally, but just because you're now thinking about other things. You're not thinking about form 5 years later, right? If you practice the fundamentals and you're really, really fucking grinding, right? You're not thinking about form anymore. You're thinking, how can I indicate light, shadow, composition, blah, 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 right? It's difficult. So I want to demystify that as well. Like, even now I'm struggling. 2 pages of filled ellipses, but mindful over 10 pages of scratchy ellipses. Exactly, right? 2 pages of this, you know, or like, oh no, this line's fucked, but you're still trying. Mindful versus fucking, yeah, 20 pages of like, oh no, I'm not really paying attention. Attention is key, which is why I just say I'm recommending just literally just 1 hour is fine for now, right? And I think it's always fine. 1 hour of mindful practice is basically 10 hours of retard practice, right? So you don't want to have retard practice. Ain't that the truth? As Robert Downey Jr. once said, never go full retard. Anyways, again, you are a great teacher. Thank you. I try. I mean, I'm half regurgitating what I've already heard, which has helped me, and I'm half saying it in a way which makes sense to me as well, right? Because it has to make sense to me while I'm teaching it, quote unquote, teaching it, right? And then, okay, something like this, because it's like that. Okay, yeah, I guess something like that. It's supposed to be a bit longer, but that's what it is. So that's going back. And then what's happening here? Oh, yes, okay. There you go. And we got... Wait, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? I think I fucked something up. Yeah, definitely fucked something up. See how hard it is to keep the perspective in mind? Yes, indeed. Simple and to the point. Yeah, I try. But I fucking literally butt fucked whatever I was trying to do here. Keep going. You can be like ZHC and Mr. Beast one day, bro. Honestly, I don't know who the fuck ZHC is, but I guess it's a big YouTuber. Thank you, I appreciate it. I mean, again, like my biggest advantage right now is just this is a niche that doesn't exist. I'm very certain, and I'm not gonna stop. I'll tell you to the 5 people or 4 people listening and watching right now. If I stop uploading one day, it's just because I'm dead. Because I'm not gonna stop uploading. I'll tell you that much, right? It's just not happening. This is my fucking this is my this is my ticket to financial freedom, which is why I keep begging for money. Right? But yeah, I'm not gonna stop uploading. Don't worry. Okay, gotta keep the perspective in mind. Okay, so it's like that. No, for what? What the fuck? Oh, you don't want me to die? I appreciate it. I don't think I want to die either. But that's just my very dramatic way of saying, like, don't worry, I'm not gonna stop uploading. Fuck that up again, but that's okay. So this should have been more like that. Cool. It's getting better. The most important thing is I'm starting to understand. He's beginning to bajib. There you go. And let's do that. And then this way. Okay, again, perspective. Keep reinforcing the perspective. So it's like this. You are one unique creator. Don't change yourself to fit into norms. Absolutely no fucking way. Okay, how the fuck am I supposed to change my personality? I did have moments at times here and there where I was like, oh god, I should censor myself. But who gives a shit, bro? Honestly, by unique I mean silly too. And then like the tongue sticking out emoji. Oh, thank you. You're unique as well. Thank you. But let's see. And then so go on, boss. Thank you. Do you do realistic drawings? Not really. I mean, I guess I can do a sneak peek because there's only like what 4 people here. So I do imagination drawings. I started incorporating that because it's my whole Road to Kim Jong-il series, right? So that's where I practice everything I've learned, right? And that's where I practice quote unquote realism. But again, ArtWad has an entire roadmap. I'm very patient and I'm taking my time. So my approach now is just spend as much time as I want on my practice, right? I have 8 blocks. Here's like block 1. So it's like warm up, ArtWad, workout, imagination drawing, reference drawing. And then the one after that, it's going to be warm up, art wad, roadmap, imagination drawing, reference drawing. So when it comes to realistic drawing, it's just practicing more of that, right? I have 8 of these blocks, and of these blocks, I'm doing the portrait roadmap and I'm doing the figure roadmap, right? And they have like a realistic portrait roadmap as well, which is more intermediate, right? Again, expect me like 5 years minimum, 5-10 years, just going through all of that, right? And then point is the fundamentals will be so strong that as I continue to do these Kim Jong-il type like imagination drawings, it will just get better and better. But as an example, here it is. Right? This is a little sneak peek for those watching, right? But this is gonna, you're gonna see this in like 4 weeks because my backlog is so ahead. But this was one of my imagination drawings I did. Took me 3 hours. I did it. This is gonna be like what part fucking 8, 9, and 10, or like 7, 8, or 9 or some shit for the Road to Kim Jong-il series, right? So I did this last Wednesday, 2 hours, and then Thursday, 1 hour, and that's it. But yeah, getting better. I'm listening to feedback from comments. I'm trying to think more, right? Quote unquote realism. But what am I really doing? I know mannequins. I know perspective roughly. I know, like, size, convergence, blah blah blah. Right? I'm drawing. I'm learning how to draw weapons, so we're practicing that. Right? I'm kind of trying to remember like how to draw hair and forms and all that shit. Right? So yeah, and like buildings, I drew them once, fucking like 8 months ago. So I'm trying to remember that. So there's a lot to learn, and that's the beautiful part. But yeah, yeah, thank you. Wow and damn. I appreciate it. Okay, bro, you are the best. Thank you. Sageko Arts. Sageko? Sageko. I assume that's Japanese. Sageko, what is it? Honda Toyota CV. No, Honda Toyota. Honda Toyota Mitsubishi. Right? Those are my favorite male names. The line quality is so crispy. Thank you. I appreciate it. But again, it's just because I'm always focusing on this shit. Right? I know I'm way over. It's already been 20 minutes. I've been spending half an hour on this shit just because I've been talking to people. But anyways, let's just finish this off. Okay, and then that we don't see. So how about we do something like this, and then see. I mean, like you say line quality crispy, but this angle, even with quote unquote my level of skill, I want you to always understand that keep pushing yourself. When you notice you struggle with something, do that again. Like you see, I'm focusing so much on this angle because this doing lines like this are so shaky. Somebody said something. No, Sage Co Arts. That's what I assumed. Yeah, Sage Co Arts. Cool. I'm on a roadmap to Kim Jong Il, and we had to draw 500 cubes on day one. Yeah, that's part of it, right? And again, if there's anything I can tell you is just never think the fundamentals are boring. You are boring. Because think about it, boxes and cylinders may sound boring, but is this boring, right? When you suddenly turn into something like this, because technically these are just boxes and cylinders, right? But is this? Oh fuck, I'm so bad at giving examples. But the point is this really boring? No, this is a camera, right? It's not boring. Man, my fucking hands are so shaky right now. But yeah, boxes and cylinders are not boring. You are boring. That's the mindset that I keep telling myself. Because look, even with how shitty my lines are and how shaky everything is, look at this. This is literally just boxes and cylinders, right? With cutouts. But it's all just a box and a cylinder. We're not doing anything crazy here. Beepity boppity boo. Yeah, beepity boppity boo. I want to butt fuck you. That's my mating call. Nobody's ever responded, which is odd, but over time, right? It's all about consistency. Yeah, but you see, this is just a box and a cylinder, and you can keep going, and you can make it more intense, I guess. But the point is, drawing boxes and cylinders is not boring. You are boring. That's the mindset that I like to have, because that way, it's kind of like personal accountability, right? If we're responsible for everything, then might as well really just make ourselves responsible for everything, right? In terms of just how we approach something and how we learn, because otherwise, it's easy to just think other people are skilled or talented. But yeah, look, really shitty lines, really shitty quality, blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't know what's going on, but my hands are just really shaky right now. But that is a relatively interesting slash unique thing to look at, made purely from boxes and cylinders. So what is the limitation? Understanding, application are the two big blockers, right? Reps, get the reps in, right? And enjoying that, obviously. And then experimentation slash creativity slash ideation, right? That's the next big thing. Okay, and we don't see that. It's coming down here. Cool. So yeah. See, ghosting really helps. Even though, again, the lines are shit. Not shitty at all. What the fuck? This is just my frame of reference, right? This is just my frame of reference. But, and I'm not doing it to be mean. Like, obviously, this is just how I talk. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, this is the perspective. Right, now that I actually established the perspective pretty well here, because I kept thinking about it. Yeah, let's do something like that. You see? Now we got the bike. Look at that. It's getting better, right? Because I imagined it, I'm visualizing it, I'm thinking really strongly about it. Lots of errors, lines are loose, sometimes thick here, line quality has a lot of issues. This is another thing. Always, always see more than you can do, right? In my opinion, always see more than you can do. This may, because if I look at this and I think it looks fine, yes, don't be too pessimistic. I'm not being pessimistic. It's just about being, this is actually exactly what I'm talking about, is you can be objective with yourself and still think you did a good job. I think I did a fucking amazing job. I think I did a wonderful job. Okay, banana milk is gonna go. All right, well, I was trying to go on a deep little spiel, but fine, fuck off. Enjoy your day. Have fun. Right, go on, boss. Oh, okay, yeah, let me just finish. All I'm saying is always be more have more of a critical eye. Right, that's it. Have more of a critical eye. I can say this looks good, and I can say, wow, you really got this angle down so much better than just what a few days ago. Look at this. Look at this, right? We're looking at this. This was what, technically 3 hours of practice prior, right? 3 hours before. And now look at this, right? Huge difference. Huge difference. Look at this, right? Perspective's off. Shit's not making sense. Look at this. Consistency, proportions, all that stuff. But I can still say, okay, well, the lines are a bit off here. I wasn't thinking ahead, so there's a mistake there. The line quality is a bit off here, right? This doesn't make sense. Perspective is off here, right? Maybe this could have been much larger, but I also have to figure out the logic behind if this makes sense in perspective. All those things, all those things. And that is important because we always want to be able to want to be able to be able to be able to, amazing explanation. We always want to be able to see more than we can do. It's initially this causes frustration because you want to be able to draw, the fucking most giant girthy penis in the world, but you draw this and you're like, that's not good, man. That's just not good. But if you can say, well, maybe this ball sack's a bit too small, and maybe I could have added veins here, and perhaps the perspective is not that great because it's diverging from this vein to the other vein, right, and the shaft is a bit thin, then you can start working towards it, and you derive enjoyment from just making those mistakes of the world's dinkiest penis, right? So hope that analogy really helped, which is see the mistakes, enjoy the mistakes, and hone your critical eye. This is where learning outside of drawing comes in, right? That's why I'm like, if you're actually obsessed and you enjoy it, you'll always be looking at what other people talk about and like, okay, well, this line quality, that line quality, this shapes, right? Understanding perspective. My obsession right now is perspective and form. So I really, really, and line quality. So I really, really, really understand how to look at that. And again, that's what I encourage all beginners, guys. Focus on line, perspective, proportion, and visualization of that, right? Those are probably the three, those are, in my opinion, those are probably like the core fundamentals of realistic drawing. Because even though the lines are shit, even though the perspective isn't perfect, even though the form proportions probably aren't amazing, this looks like the front of a bike, right? It looks representational, realistic. Why? Because I've been grinding away on understanding and applying line, perspective, form. So if you want to draw realistic, do not neglect your fundamentals. But I'm actually going to call it. That was basically it. I hope. I mean, I had a great drawing session. I really do think I learned a lot. And that's another thing, right? You have a good drawing session when A, you learn a lot, B, you expend a lot of cognitive energy. And I believe I've done both. And I'll be streaming later in the day, but I don't know who the fuck's going to be watching that. But yeah, it's been a 90-minute stream. I keep going for an hour and a half. It's funny. I talk a lot, but I feel as if I still get good practice in. So Yeah, I mean, I don't know who's still here. Banana Milk, Sage Co Arts, right? My girlfriend may be listening to me in the background while she's actually doing something useful for her own life and not just having this shit on, this rambling. But I'm gonna call it here. Twas a wonderful stream. I feel as if I did improve, which is important. I feel as if I got things down. This is actually a huge improvement. And yeah, we're again stream days, getting down the bike mannequin day. I will get you Kinder Joys. That was really helpful. Give me money. I don't want Kinder Joys, but I appreciate it. I have a Patreon now. Absolutely useless. Doesn't give any value. But do subscribe. Right? That's what they say. Anyways, Jesus fucking Christ. I'm already fucking too hyped on caffeine, and I'm done exercising, drawing. So with that being said, as always, fuck you for watching. Keep drawing, and please give me money. Thank you. And now this is the part where I just kind of, yeah, just have to take it off and